So everyone's trying to get into social media marketing, but what if I told you that it's just not the right time to get into it? For the last 2 years, I built out a social media marketing agency that does over 6 figures in profit every single year. And today I'm going to be discussing exactly why you shouldn't be getting into SMMA in 2023 and what you should be doing instead. Well, I know it may be super hard to do, but the best advice is to stop following what the people are telling you to do. And the reason I say this isn't because you should start listening to me. It's because I took the advice of a lot of these gurus in the past, and it led me honestly nowhere. I spent over 5 years in dropshipping, and my net return was negative. So that kind of shows that not everyone is cut out for it, and a lot of dropshipping does involve luck. Now, what does this mean for SMMA? They talk about how it's super profitable, it requires zero startup cost, anyone can do it, and yes, to a certain extent, those are all true. And if you really think about it, I was able to do this. I was able to build out profitable social media marketing agency. So why am I telling you not to do it? Well, being in the market for the last 2 years, I realized that there are so many business owners out there that just aren't looking for these services. They reach out to these big companies that have all social media covered. There are creative agencies out there that are doing millions a year that literally take care of all the services for businesses. And when a small guy like you or me comes into the play, they just don't care, and they're not going to give you the money to be able to do that. So how do you combat this? What's the right approach to start building out SMMA in 2023? Well, it's something that a lot of these gurus are not going to tell you because it's exactly what they're doing. The reason these gurus are able to migrate from dropshipping to SMMA to SaaS is not because of the products or services they're building. It's because they're creating content. Content creation is one of the easiest and fastest ways to start building any business of your dreams. And the only reason that I was able to scale my SMMA to 6 figures a year is because I started creating content online. You see, when you approach a business owner and you tell them that you're going to offer them some sort of service, whether it's TikTok ads or Facebook or Instagram, they're not going to trust you unless you have a track record. And the only way you build a track record is by building case studies and testimonials. And how do you initially approach that? Well, there's 2 ways you can do it. 1, you do it for free and you absolutely excel at it. Or 2, you build out content and you show them that you've already done it before for yourself and that you can do it for them. From what I've seen in my personal experience, number 1 only works sometimes. You can't be working for free for everyone, and the customers that are going to let you work for free are not the big businesses. They're very small businesses that maybe might invest into you. And even at that point, if other companies take a look at your track record, they're going to see you're working with these very small businesses and they're just not going to give you the money that you need. So in order to really be able to step up and play with these big players and compete with these massive creative agencies, you just need to start building your content. And so that's why in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to start creating content so that you can eventually build out a social media marketing agency that will bring you thousands and thousands of dollars. And so the first step in order to creating content is literally just pull your phone or camera out and start shooting something. Now you may be wondering, what content should I shoot? What can I post about? Where can I post it? How do I do it? Where do I film? Honestly, who cares? Just pull out your phone and start talking to it. Tell it about your life. Tell it about what you're working on. Maybe you're not working on anything. Talk to it about your family life. Whatever it may be, just start getting comfortable with the camera. And that is the first step that is going to put you ahead of 99% of people who are constantly doubting themselves and never want to get in front of a camera because they're just shy or they might be scared what their friends think. But honestly, just being in front of a camera is the number 1 thing that you guys can do. Once you've faced that fear and understand how you can talk to cameras, then you move on to the next step, which is actually creating content that goes viral. And there are many ways to do this. There are hundreds of YouTube videos online that you guys can start checking out in order to understand how to create content effectively. And I'll be releasing videos on this as well if you guys want to learn how to do so. But once you're comfortable with a camera, once you know how to speak to it, then you can start thinking about which topics you want to talk about. A lot of times people get in front of a camera, but they have no idea what to talk about. They think about topics they want to talk about, but they think they're just not good enough at it. And to be honest with you, that's the case for a lot of people, including myself. But what you have to understand is that we are all learning at the same time. And the only way that you can start creating good content is by creating as you're learning. So find a topic that interests you. And even if you're not world number 1 at it, as you create more content about it, as you dive into it, as you talk about it, you'll start to realize that you're way better at it than you thought. And the next time someone hears you talking about it, you'll realize that there are so many people out there who would die to be able to hear what you have to say about it. And that's exactly how you start creating content online. Literally pick up your phone and camera, literally find a topic, whatever it may be that interests you, and start just talking about it day in and day out. And if you can replicate this framework for a certain period of time, you can start building a business around what you're talking about. I'll give you an example. I really enjoyed creating content, but I had no idea how to do it. I always knew I had a passion for cameras and I had a passion to talk to people, but I just never knew how to do it. And so instead of learning for months on end, looking at the computer and understanding how content works, I just flipped out my camera and started talking about content. I talked about how easy it was to pull out a camera. I talked about how to talk to a camera, and I had no idea how to do it. I was just winging it. But as time went on, I realized that it was just something that was so valuable, and that as I was talking about it more and more, people just enjoyed it. And so just start by doing that, guys, and you'll see that there are so many returns that you'll be getting from just creating that content. Now, moving on to step number 3, this is exactly how you would funnel your audience from building content to building an SMMA. So a lot of times people want to dive right into SMMA and just help business owners out. And like I mentioned, it's not that easy. It's very, very hard to do it for an average Joe like you and me. And so the way that you can start doing that is by creating content online. This will give people proof that you're actually good at what you do. And content is like a modern day resume. People like to look up your name online. People like to search you up to see what you've been up to. And if you're able to back yourself up, trust me, it is virtually impossible not to get a client for your SMMA. Now, the coolest thing here is that SMMA is directly related with content creation. When you're offering a social media service to people, you're basically saying, hey, I can help you grow your social media. And if you can't do that for yourself, what makes them trust you? The way that you guys can start doing it is by building a brand around yourself and simultaneously scaling your social media marketing agency. And that's exactly how my brother and I were able to scale to $15,000 plus a month with our business, is by creating content ourselves, showing that we were able to create content, and then pitching it to business owners and telling them exactly what we had done in the past, which was building millions of followers. And then we showed them how we would do it for them and actually went out and did it. So that's all I got for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe. And in the next video, I'll be showing you exactly how you can start building out your SMMA while you're creating content online. And so I'll see you. Thanks for watching.